I think the proper way to look at the Middle East today is that it is a bipolar system. You've got Israel in the west and Iran in the east as centers of power, and they are the two most influential countries in the whole Middle East. When you stop and think about it, this is fairly strange that they are non-Arab, they don't speak Arabic, their religion, you have Jews and you've got Shia, which are exceptions to the rule. There is all of these things. This has come as quite a shock to the old line Sunni states like Saudi Arabia and Egypt and Syria and others who are accustomed to calling all the shots in the Middle East. They're the ones who make policy. And it turns out they're slowly being marginalized by these two. I really believe that the right way to look at Iran and Israel is not as one being an existential threat to the other, but as two political rivals who are really trying to influence the direction of policy in the region and are sort of maneuvering with each other along the way. And that, I think, in a nutshell, sort of encapsulates the way that Iran looks at this. They want to increase their influence. I think it's wrong to say that Iran wants to be the hegemon of the region or to take it over physically. They're really not equipped to do that at all, and their history doesn't show that at all. I mean, that's not the way they've been behaving, even since the revolution. But they do want to have a full seat at the table. And it seems to me, to go back to our earlier conversation, about all the things the United States can use to get Iran to agree to things that we want them to do. One of them is, if you're going to have a full seat at the table, and we can see to it that you can do that, you're going to have to behave yourself a little better than you have been in the past on a variety of different issues, whether that's nuclear or terrorism or attitude toward the peace process or what have you. And, I think Iran wants to be recognized. It wants to be acknowledged as a major power in the region. And I think it's got to be told at some point that the only way you're going to achieve that is by playing the game according to standard diplomatic rules, that you're not going to be able to just be a rogue element that goes out and breaks crockery on all sides and then expect everybody to take. Iran recently ran for a seat on the Security Council. Each year they have a vote and people come in from different regions. There were 190 countries voting. Iran got 32 votes. So I think that's a pretty clear signal to Iran and to the rest of the world that these kinds of policies, if Khatami had been the president of Iran, they would have gotten a lot more votes than that. Right. But Ahmadinejad has offended and alienated so many people that I think he has really undercut Iran's policies. He's undercut their national interest. Yeah. And I think people are beginning to realize that more and more, which means that he's got a bigger and bigger problem. So one of my pieces of advice for Obama, which he doesn't need my advice, but I offer it anyway, is that he should not rush into anything with Iran until after that election. I really think he should let nature run its course in Iran, not try to interfere in the election, make it clear that the United States is preparing itself to have a relationship with Iran, but just tacitly waiting until the election is over to see which way things are going to go. And by the time we get to June next year, that would be from the end of January, so February, March, April, May, 4 months. It takes that time to put together a major policy project to think about how you're going to start this initiative. And in the meantime, I think we'll start to see signals about slow withdrawal from Iraq. Other signals will be in the air. And I think we'll be in a position then when a new government takes place. And if Ahmadinejad stays, okay, we can deal with him. I mean, I don't think it's not my preferred option, but I think it's one that we could deal with if we have to.